Happy International Women's Day. Today I want to speak to you about something that not only affect women but also males too. I want to say that this is something that we all actually face at some point in our life. And it says about 70% of the population actually experience what we call the imposter syndrome. And yes, it was mostly found in women, but men also suffer from this syndrome. And when you are able to identify it, then you're able to deal with it. So, what's the imposter syndrome? This is the feeling that you're not good enough. You think that all your achievement was just pure luck. You think that you're not worthy of what you have achieved in life, or even the praises that others may be given to you, and you doubt your abilities of all the things that you have done. So many of us believe you're not deserving of these things in life, that whatever you would have worked for and achieved. Now, these are areas that you might see you're showing up, whether it's home. Sometimes as a mother, you feel that you doubt yourself, that you are not a good mother, that, oh, maybe you're not a good wife, you're not a good maybe a leader, whatever it is, whatever areas that you have really done well. And likely this is something that actually many high achievers suffer from. They are really good at what they do, but yet they don't believe that it is them who actually is able to do these things. So sometimes we get wired by our childhood days. Maybe it's through your parents, maybe it is your teachers or friends, the way they would have critiqued you. And those things actually wired you into believing now that you're not good enough, that somebody is going to find out that you weren't good enough, or you're not good at this thing here, whatever it might be. And for me, I see how this played out so much in my life. You can recognize this with, when you're feeling anxious, the anxiety attack, the perfectionist in you coming out, the self-doubt and fear of failures. When you see these things that are showing up, and when you start thinking, these are signs of the imposter syndrome that you're suffering from. Now, for me, I could give you an example. I think back of, my perfectionist would have actually started since I was 9 years old. I could remember moving to Barbies and, being the new person in the school. Everybody was excited to be my friends. But I never thought, I was worthy of all of that. I could remember my teacher used to ask me to write on the board because I had one of the best handwriting in the class, and so he used to let me write his notes on the board so others can write. And I could remember one time I was taking my time to do it, and he got angry and he just sent me back to my seat. And I could remember all these things and how actually those things would have shaped, some of why I am such a perfectionist, and how to overcome these things too. But I also think of moving into working at the bank per se. And everyone used to say that I am my manager's favorite and all of these things. But I never thought of, it was actually an imposter syndrome, that I didn't deserve all of those things. But yet my achievements would have speak for itself, and I never looked in that angle, that year after year I got a employee, either employee of the year, or my performance was always year after year above expectation, or exceed expectations. And the things, many of the things that my manager would have wanted to get done, she would have brought it to me instead of my supervisor. And so I would have never thought and saw myself that I was worthy of actually the achievements that I would have had in my life. And I think back to, being the first in my family to go to the university, and everyone thought of me as being smart, but I never thought of myself as being smart in those angles that people saw me. And so all of these things played on my mind. And I never realized that actually I was suffering from that. A few years back, taking up a job, after the bank, and being able to work and earn 10 times more that I was earning at the bank. And I built some confidence, and there are many things that I would have done, and then taking up a new job after that and being underpaid really also messed with my mind that maybe I'm not good enough. And this person maybe didn't see the quality in me that I deserved. So I always thought, okay, I'm not good. And so despite many people would have let me know that how much I've helped them in some way or the other, in something or the other, and they would have appreciated me. And I never thought of it as it's something that I am doing or I'm good at anything. And that's what I used to say to myself. And understanding that this is something, it's a mental state that we are going through, or I'm going through, or what people go through, and that I wasn't alone. And I started learning how to deal with it, because it will pop its ugly face or ugly head at some point in your life, especially when you want to achieve big things, in your life. And I see how, it's not us alone. People like Will Smith, people like Michael Phelps, all of these people suffer from imposter syndrome. And I could remember Michael Phelps even wanted to commit suicide. Now, all these great people that we see, and you don't know actually what goes on in their head. And so many successful people actually suffer from imposter syndrome. And you're no different. You likely, if you're achieving in life, you will also suffer from this at some point in life, or at least once in your life. Now, how do I deal with it? When it pops its head, what do I do? I remind myself that of everything that I have done. And though I know it is not on my strength that I did it, and it is His God who gave the wisdom and the understanding and the physical strength to actually do the things that I've done in my life, I remember, yes, it comes from Him. But then also I remember that He has used me as the vessel to do it, and I was able to do it through Him. I strengthen my mind in what I say to myself now, that I am good enough. I've worked hard for whatever I am achieving in life. I've worked for it. I look back of all, yes, my failures, and what did I learn from it. I've acknowledged them and write the lessons of what did I got out of those failures, and move on. Right? I think of David in the Bible, and how he assured himself of the things, when he stand before Goliath, he said, the same God that helped me to fight the bear and the lion will help me now. And so I think of it as looking back at the things that you would have accomplished in life. Look back at where you've come from and where you are today, not comparing yourself to others, but compare yourself to who you were before to who you are now. And how much have you grown? What are the things you have achieved? And build your confidence in there that you're capable of doing this. And so I want to leave this with you. You are beautifully, fearfully, and wonderfully made. Okay, and you are more than enough to do anything that is there in front of you. You believe in yourself, and you will be able to accomplish it. You can do this. And it starts with the belief system that you can believe in you. You got this. And believe that all the things that you have achieved, you've worked for it. You've done great, and keep doing so that you can keep getting better and better each and every day. Today, I would say take time out to actually compliment someone. Look at somebody that you can encourage and remind them of how much they have achieved, how great they are, how worthy they are, and how good they are. You do this for someone today, and I will tell you, you will also feel good about yourself. Remove all of the words that you say to yourself that is pulling you down, and believe in you. You are good enough. Have a wonderful day.